Two longtime rivals just crossed a line the world hoped they never would. Airstrikes, missile exchanges, nuclear fears back on the table. And suddenly, the entire Middle East feels like a ticking clock. This isn't just another headline, it's history unfolding in real time. Israel and Iran are locked in their most direct cross-border confrontation ever. No more proxy battles. This is open war. And what happens next could shape the region for years to come. Welcome to A Brief Story. For years, the Iran-Israel rivalry has played out in secret. Cyber attacks, covert assassinations, and proxy militias. But 2025 changed everything. Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, targeting nuclear and military sites deep inside Iran. Major facilities in Isfahan and Iraq were hit, with Iranian officials confirming the deaths of several top military commanders. Iran retaliated with ballistic missiles and drone strikes, many aimed at Israeli cities. Some were intercepted, others weren't. For the first time in decades, both nations engaged in direct, overt attacks on each other's territory. This was no longer a covert struggle. It was war in full view of the world, and it shook everyone watching. The age of shadow war? Over. The age of open conflict? Just begun. Israel didn't wait. Its military strategy hinged on speed, surprise, and precision. With intelligence gathered from Mossad and satellite surveillance, Israeli fighter jets hit over a dozen high-value sites in the first 72 hours. These included missile factories, nuclear centrifuge centers, and air defense systems. Israel's Iron Dome and David's Sling systems intercepted incoming threats, while its Air Force neutralized launch platforms inside Iran. Experts say the scale and coordination of the strikes were unmatched, but this first-mover advantage comes with consequences. Iran, humiliated but determined, is now more aggressive in its response. Israel may have won the first round, but the battle is far from over. The bigger question, how long can Israel keep this up without dragging the whole region into chaos? Iran's counterattack was swift. Drones and ballistic missiles were launched toward Israel's major urban centers. While Israel's defense systems intercepted several missiles hit civilian areas, including hospitals and residential neighborhoods. Dozens were injured and a few fatalities have been reported. Iran claims its aim was strategic, targeting military infrastructure. But the reality on the ground tells a different story. Footage from Beersheba shows the aftermath of a strike near a hospital, windows shattered, medical staff injured, chaos unfolding. Iran is also using this moment to rally regional militias and allies, raising fears of a wider conflict. For Tehran, this is a matter of pride, power, and pressure, and for civilians on both sides, it's a nightmare come to life. Beyond missiles and strategy lies the harshest truth. People are suffering. Families in Israel are huddled in bomb shelters. In Iran, cities like Tehran and Shiraz face rolling blackouts, internet shutdowns, and rising panic. Over 600 people have died so far, with thousands injured across both countries. Roads are jammed with fleeing families. In India, Operation Sindhu has evacuated hundreds of citizens trapped in Iran. In Israel, hospitals are at full capacity. And across the globe, families with loved ones in the region are watching helplessly. This is not just a war of weapons, it's a humanitarian crisis in real time. The world can debate geopolitics, but for those caught in the middle, this is personal, painful, and far from over. The world isn't sitting idle. The U.S. has sent additional military assets to the region, signaling support for Israel. President Trump has publicly supported Israeli strikes and called for increased pressure on Iran. Meanwhile, Russia has offered to mediate, hoping to position itself as a stabilizing force. The European Union and the United Nations have called for immediate de-escalation. France and Germany are urging both sides to return to diplomacy. But with both Iran and Israel standing firm, the road to peace looks rocky. What's clear is that this conflict is no longer just regional. It's a global flashpoint, and every superpower has something at stake. At the heart of this conflict is a dangerous fear: nuclear escalation. Israel has always seen Iran's nuclear ambitions as an existential threat. That's why its first strikes targeted nuclear sites. Iran, on the other hand, insists its nuclear program is peaceful, but vows not to be bullied into submission. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, confirms that facilities were hit, but radiation leaks have not been detected so far. Still, the world holds its breath, because if this war hits one wrong facility or one side goes too far, the consequences could be catastrophic. Nuclear war may not be on the table yet, but nuclear risk, it's very much real. This isn't just Iran versus Israel anymore. Hezbollah in Lebanon has issued threats. Iraqi militias are mobilizing. Houthi rebels in Yemen have launched drone strikes near Red Sea shipping lanes. Each new front stretches global nerves thinner. Turkey has condemned Israeli actions. The Gulf states are split. Some support quiet diplomacy, others fear Iran's rising aggression. Meanwhile, global oil markets are rattled, with prices surging. The Middle East is a web, and when one thread snaps, others quickly follow. If these dominoes keep falling, we may see a regional war that pulls in far more players than just Iran and Israel. While the missiles fly overhead, there's another war raging silently online. Cyber attacks have surged, with Iranian-linked groups targeting Israeli infrastructure, from electricity grids to financial networks. In retaliation, Israeli hackers have breached communication systems and disrupted air traffic control in parts of Iran. Both sides are weaponizing code, spreading misinformation, and trying to cripple morale through digital means. Social media platforms are flooded with doctored videos and conflicting narratives, making it harder for the public and even governments to know what's real. This is warfare beyond borders, where a single line of code can shut down a hospital or trigger panic in cities. The battleground isn't just land anymore, it's your screen. Diplomatic efforts are underway, but the outcome remains uncertain. Iran has signaled it is open to dialogue, but refuses to make concessions under pressure. Israel, meanwhile, demands full dismantling of Iran's nuclear infrastructure as a condition for any ceasefire. International bodies like the UN are pushing hard for negotiations, and back-channel talks are rumored to be taking place in Oman and Geneva. However, trust is eroded, and every passing hour raises the risk of escalation. Analysts warn that even a small misstep now could ignite a regional war. Yet there is still hope. Some nations are calling for a neutral peacekeeping force. Others are proposing phased de-escalation plans. What's clear is this: peace is possible, but it will require more than words. It demands courage, compromise, and time. This isn't just about territory or politics, it's about people. Lives are being uprooted, futures are being shattered, and whether you're in the Middle East or miles away, what happens here will echo around the world. Stay informed, stay alert, and above all, stay human.